Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. Today is another LEGO Top 10 MOCs of the Week episode where I show you guys the coolest custom builds I happen to see people building in LEGO throughout this last week. There are simply no limitations when it comes to amazing creativity in the LEGO building world. Like always, there's way more than just 10 creations I'm showing you guys in this video, and links to everything are in the description below if you want to learn more about these builders. Before we jump in, 4 new lightsabers have made it to the web store for LEGO custom instructions. From the designer Built Bricks, Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber, Obi-Wan's Padawan saber, Darth Maul's saber, and Yoda's saber have now all entered the game. They handle extremely well, they look great, and I'm glad to see that a lot of the Grievous jokes have really slowed down since we made our second lightsaber video. There are definitely more to come, and it's all linked in the description below, www.brickvault.toys if you wanted to build some. Alright, let's jump right into some honorable mentions. From Chris Perron, this is the Phoenix Vic Viper 335. Actually lost it in the shuffle last week. I was supposed to show this off last week. I love the colors here. Ralph Langer says this is a speed build bonsai. The triangular traffic sign pieces used as a pot is really excellent. Chuck did a compilation photo of his 1/200 scale ships that I thought you guys have to see. Lego Nuts titled this Sunset by the Dock. Reminds me a little bit of Kobe. Here's a build from Finn Roberts titled Wetland Farming Skiff. At first I thought this was a robot waiter that was bringing food over. And then from Leonard Kornt, this is the Ferrari 250 GTO. Love the details on this one. This is TH Corner from Lukas Libazuski. Love the tan and nougat. Nobu Terry built a small breakfast for you. From Joxon, this is Power Rider 8514. And then it looks like a sister build from Tino Putienen, Mini Rider 8004. He left links to a whole lot more of these builds if you want to see more, but you have to go into our description. Here's another Dust Rider from Redverse. Really like the connection for that front wheel. And then from Jacob Customs, the title here is This is Perfect, but I believe this is a custom design for Kingpin, which is absolutely awesome. It is such a good little build. I love the detailing here for the rendered metal by Sully Manning. The title here is Mission 19.1 Lost in the Dark. Based on what we're looking at, it feels like a Venator got ripped in half, and this is just a tiny little chunk of it that we're seeing floating in space. From Shannon Sproul, there's no official title, but I think this is a Hibernia vehicle based on what I read in the description. Love the treads and the interesting shape for the cockpit. It's just such a strange looking design. 4 bricks tall, titled this Tall Trees Catch Much Wind. Love the use of those triangular dark green pieces for the leaves. And then I never really played much Magic the Gathering, but this is the Mana Vault from Deuce Otiosis. You tell me, but I think he took this picture upside down in order to get those chains taut. Tim Inman titled this Bone Crusher Hot Rod. Love that skull design in the front. This is Pinhead and Armstrong from Mitch Henry. Very alive looking characters. JK Brickworks' Little Drummer Boy is so much more than this simple build here. You should check out his video to get the full experience. It's amazing. Lastly, from Andrew Cookston, this is simply titled Bang. Love the motion captured here and the effects look great. Now let's jump into top 10. These are models that I feel like I can talk about slightly more than some of the other ones. First, we are looking at House with Flowers from Konoyaro. The staggered plated dark red corners of the building really popped well for me, and I like that this designer wasted zero space when adding all the flowers and vegetation around this little build. It's actually not that little when you think about it, but there's an excellent shape and atmosphere for this model. And now we're looking at a Vic Viper from Leonardo Lopez. You can see the title here saying Fire Lion Squadron, and it's interesting to see a ship built with the primary color of sand green. It has become more of a popular color over the last few years, but I still consider it a pretty ambitious thing to try to make a model from it. The golden yellow highlights for the engines in the back look excellent, and I like that there's a semblance of disconnection and separation for some of these chunks that make up the body of the ship. Build number 8 is from the designer Carter, and the title here is Brigand Mobile Frame. Really great choice to use the shoulder pauldron as the head or cockpit area of this mobile suit. That sticker was used absolutely perfectly, in my opinion. The skate pieces used to detail the missile packs on the shoulders work super well. The model feels both utilitarian and a bit stylized. I really like the packs that curve around on the front, and it's just one of the more fun and rugged robots I've seen in a while. Something tells me that that piece for the scope is a glow-in-the-dark 1x1 round tile. Here's the build number 7 from Ayrlego. This is Customs Post Hussar's Isle. Nostalgia for the old pirate theme cannot get any bigger for me. I love the design for this white tower that we have in the center. The nougat and old white pieces that are used to detail the exterior look excellent. You can actually see those old yellowed white pieces being used pretty strategically and to great effect. Just because a brick gets discolored does not mean it is useless, and in fact I feel like it really benefits here in the model. The building techniques for the windows look great. The door frames and wooden posts at the bottom have a nice little ornate feel to them, and we just need cool sets like this to come out in LEGO Official with more pirate ships. We just need a full pirate theme. Moving down from Bartłomiej, this is Narnia LP Cool. That's the official title. And it's funny, I didn't realize that this was Bartłomiej's build when I first was picking things out for top 10. He actually sells some stuff in the web store, which is pretty cool. And I love the lighting effect that he managed to get for the post out here. I think he's just shining a yellow light down in on the center. I don't think this is like an LED that's in the center, but instead just a lot of splashing light from a directed source from above. The intended effect is amazing. I think there is some lettering at the base of this build in the circular form there. Somebody else can tell me if they can read that out. It might not actually be in English, but we have just such a wonderful, vibrant look for a model. I like that it's open enough for you to see completely inside. It's not closed off with all the trees, yet the scene feels very well encased by these snowy trees at the same time. If you're keeping track, this is build number 5 from Sebastian Bachorzewski. The title here is Side Street, and it also feels pretty encased too as a perspective shot. The walls are relatively narrow, and you can't help but think you're somewhere in Japan or East Asia with all of these crazy neon lights everywhere. Things are relatively packed. I like the wet floor sign, and the amounts of different colors, both in terms of LEGO bricks and different color LED lights, is really overwhelming, which I think is the absolute point of this build. The narrow depth of field gives a false sense of scale. It makes everything feel a lot bigger, which is a great effect. It's a pretty interesting custom figure right in the center. Righto, number 4 moving down the line is from Hachiroku24. The title here is LEGO Spiderman vs. Sandman diorama, and I tell you, we simply do not get enough awesome Marvel or DC themed custom builds, at least not recently in my opinion, but this is one of the coolest ways to depict Sandman in LEGO bricks that I've ever seen. That 1x2 tile with the rounded edges and the open stud holes has absolutely changed the game for custom building in the last couple of years. It's easily my favorite piece that's come out in the last 5 years, and it's being used to great effect here. The build for the cement mixer itself is actually quite good, and there's an excellent amount of motion also captured really well in this small diorama. Now we've jumped onto a build titled simply Tree from the builder Kofi, or Kofi. It's actually a floating island build, which is pretty fun. There's a lot of root detailing coming out from underneath the bottom of this platform that's sticking out. The vegetation looks excellent with the overgrown pieces along some of the grassy areas on the edge of the island, and the tree itself is really kind of strange. It's very cluttered and kind of chaotic. Feels like it's a really old ancient tree, and we happen to catch it in springtime during full bloom. The lighter, maybe sand blue that's used for the roof also pops super well against the white walls of the building, and I really like how the stone frame is canted inwards ever so slightly towards the actual frame of the house. There's just a lot of really fun techniques all thrown in here together that really work. Now this is build number 2 from Jayfa, the Royal Vey Dragon. I knew when I saw that vinyl piece coming out that it was going to get put to good use. You can see it along the back and sides of the dragon. Also, the gold clip-on fin pieces used as the belly of the dragon work excellently here. The face and eye is particularly well stylized. Not sure, but I think that could be a lipstick piece that makes up the red for the eye there. The little bit of green leaf pieces right there behind the horns looks great. And maybe I should do like a 2020 compilation video or something, but this certainly is one of my favorite dragons of the entire year. There's just a lot of life and color. Now we're moving on to the last build of the week from Rocco, Buttliere. This is the Vatican City, and I gotta say, we are huge fans of microscale here in the studio. I personally love to build in microscale, so does my brother. We consider ourselves decently competent, but honestly, this designer might just simply be the best microscale builder that we've ever seen in LEGO, period. This is a huge diorama built to incredible accuracy, and it's not even close to the biggest thing that he's done in the past. I highly recommend you check out those links in the description description below, because you'll be nothing but impressed when checking out this particular builder's creations. I'm not even going to bother talking about technique or shape or size or scale. There are just so many interesting, creative, subtle ideas and connections thrown into absolutely every corner of this model that it just becomes a piece to get lost in. When creating this video, there are more pictures of just this single diorama here than all the other top 10 pictures combined of all the other MOCs, and for good reason. There's just so much to show off. I'm not even going to show you half of everything that I've actually collected for the video. And I tell you, I love to travel, and every time I see something that Rocco builds, I add it to my list of places that I eventually want to go and see. Anyways, that is it for my personal favorite top 10 MOCs of the week. If you do have any extra time, you can always check out those links in the description below to see the builder's original sources. And you can also visit our web store if you want to try building some amazing LEGO custom creations for yourself, www.brickvault.toys. It's all linked in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, staying to the end of the video. If you enjoy our content, you can always like, subscribe, share, do whatever it is that you want to do. And we'll see you next time at BrickVault.